Hi everybody, thanks for coming by my channel. I'm the Honeybee Picker and I'm going to do a video on what sold recently. I didn't get to add in the most recent few things, but I will post those another time. So this is 9 items that sold for $355 and I had profit of $186 out of these 9 items. And the first item is these Marilyn Monroe Martini glasses. They're really cute and they look really fragile because they're thin and they're painted. But they sold for $12.07, so I made $7. And I was doing my pricing where the cents would tell me that that's my estimate of how much I would make. So for example, this was listed at $12.07. But then I would, it's a little bit confusing. If I put things on sale, then I couldn't really tell, so I went back and I changed everything to whole even dollars. And then now when I put things on sale, they typically won't turn into an even dollar, so I can easily tell if the item is on sale, for a limited time, or if it's the regular price. And so there's a few things in here that still had the cents at the end. So I made $7 on those glasses, and I wrapped the stems with a little bit of bubble, and then I wrapped each glass, and a Martini glass has like a triangle cup shape, and then I put one upside down and right side up, and then wrapped those together so they would stay as just one unit. Put those inside a small box that just fit them with the bubble, and then I put that box in another box with some more bubble in between the 2 layers. And I really looked for lightweight boxes, so I wouldn't, by doing the double box, I wouldn't really be getting too high on the total weight. And so those have already been delivered, and so that went great. The next item, I sold this internationally to someone in Australia, and they are a pair of nail clippers, but they're the oversized grip with a magnifying glass and a light. So these were new and they sold for $12 and I made $10 profit, and they were new. I have one more pair listed, and so someday it'll sell. It's really small, so it's not in my way. So I don't mind waiting. And then I sold a bobblehead, Monta Ellis Dallas Mavericks number 11 bobblehead, and the photographs were great. It took a long time to sell, but I did go back and look at the review. It just isn't a popular item, but I finally moved it out and it sold for $12.10. But see, now that one I made $7, so the 10 cents didn't match up. So then the next item is this cute dirt bike die cast that you put together, a little model kit, and this was new. I got it at a thrift store and I sold it for $23 and I made $16.62, so that was a nice item. And I listed that in February, so it took a little while to sell. I had watchers on it, but I sold it for pretty much at the top of where I was trying to list it, and that sold plus shipping. So typically most things I do plus shipping. Sometimes I do free shipping on, say, everyday household type things that are 1 pound or less. So maybe like might do free shipping on vacuum bags, or I might do free shipping on books, something like that. But things that are more in the collectible things that you would sit out, like this little bike, or vintage collectibles, I always do plus shipping. And I just compare when I'm doing the listing to other listings. Is it more common that they are free shipping or plus shipping? And I have tried like everything free shipping for a couple of months, And I did that like in the middle of where my sales were good, and then I went to all free shipping for a couple months, and I didn't see a change. So then I went back to the way I had it before. So I've tried different things out, being new and not being as dependent on the income yet. Now granted, I need income, but I didn't want to try things out later on when, say, you're making a lot more and then you try a new technique with your store, and if it really does drop your sales, say you're making, you know, a couple $1,000s a month, and then you make a change in the way you do things and your sales drop, that are directly tied to that, not just coincidence, but directly tied to that change that you tried out, a method, and you lose a good percentage of $2,000, is much more concerning than if your sales are lower and you're just learning. So in this first year of learning, I've tried out different things, but I try to be consistent, that when I try something new, that I do just that one new thing for a whole month. So like if I put stuff on sale, then I try not to do any other changes for that whole month. Or free shipping versus no free shipping, or allowing offers to come my way. I've tried that, to have offers on and offers off, and I can't tell the difference in the busy months or in the slow summer. I've tried it both ways, and the sales don't seem to be different. But I am looking forward to Q4. Now things will start picking up as we move into Q4, so that'll be exciting. And I bet you're excited too for Q4, because that's our busiest time of year. The next item, the hardback book, is called Queen's Gift from 1952, and it's just blue. It doesn't have a paper cover jacket to it, and it sold for $7.65 plus shipping, and I made $6.50 on the book. Some books sell, other books don't, but typically my books, I don't pay anything for them. I find them what I call my curbside hauls, and so I don't pay anything for them, and I have kind of a dedicated amount of space that I use for books, and I don't expect to expand that allowed space for the books. So I keep my inventory within that space. I keep looking over there because there's one shelf that's just books. Some are listed, a bunch of them are not listed, but I won't be picking up any more books unless they can fit in that spot. Otherwise, they'll encroach into some other space that's for other items that have higher, profit per item or move faster. So, but I like books myself, so I just like to collect books. I buy books for myself. I buy cookbooks, I buy children's books, or I find free cookbooks or children's books, and so I save some of that to the side in a different area that's for me and my family. But I like books. There's just something about touching a book. The next item, so I have 4 items left. A couple of them are really high dollar compared to the others. Nice high dollars, over $50. And some of the items sold really fast. And so before I get into the last 4, hit the thumbs up and let me know if you like the video, and share in the comments below anything, maybe you have tried free shipping or tried some other technique to promote your items. That's another thing. I've tried promoted sales, and you pay the extra fee to eBay on top of it. I didn't see a difference in that. I've listened to other resellers who have been in the business for 10, 15, 20 years, and they've tried some of the same things, and they're not seeing a difference in their sales. So they did the same thing. They tried something out, it didn't work for them or for the type of merchandise that they have, and so it doesn't hurt to try. And then hit that subscribe button so you'll know the next time I post another video. And let's get into the other 4 items. So the next one is a 20-piece Corel South Beach dinnerware set. This particular pattern goes really quick. The dishes are all white, so different pieces have either just a thin aqua or turquoise line, and then another dish will have like the green dotted line dots around the edge, and so on. So you'll see that in the picture. And so these I paid up at an estate sale. I don't really like paying up too much, but I did. So I paid $12 for the set, and I sold them for $75 plus shipping, and I made 52 bucks on my $12 investment. That's pretty good. So I will keep my eye out for more of that. The next one is really cool. They are vintage paintbrushes. I got these at a yard sale. They were in a tackle box with a bunch of old paints, and I paid $3 for the whole thing. I threw out all the old paint, and then the paintbrushes, as I looked at them, discovered that about 15 of them were USA paintbrushes, and a couple of really popular brands. So those were keywords in the title. And then there was a handful of Japanese paintbrushes, and there was a couple of Korean, and then some unknown paintbrushes that because they're all from the same person, probably similar USA or Japanese, but I just put unknown because the print on the side had worn off. And there was a couple other little tools in there you see in the picture. And so I just listed in bullets, listed out everything that was in it, and did close-up pictures so you could see, and I turned each paintbrush to where you could see the edge of it. And so these sold, I had a lot of watchers. They sold for $76.50, and I made $64.50 on my $3. And they went quick. I listed those September 2nd, and they sold September 11th. So that went really quick. And those dishes, I listed those August 25th, and they sold September 12th. And that Queen's book, I mean, it wasn't a lot to, wasn't much to look at, but it must be a great story. I listed it August 25th, and it sold September 9th. So that was a quick sell. The other items I had listed, February or March. So those were slower. And then I have 2 more items. One is a vacuum cleaner bag. I like to pick up vacuum bags. Sometimes they're at the thrift store bundled together, or in just a mishmash of other items. And sometimes the other items in the bag, that's like a goodie bag of stuff. Here, just take all this for $1.50, right? And some of the stuff is not anything I would sell, but the vacuum bags. So I think all the vacuum bags I have right now, I don't think I've paid more than $0.25 when you divide it out for each of the bags. This one sold for $10.20 with free shipping, so I made $4. But it doesn't take long to list vacuum bags because it's just a picture of the front and the back, and maybe one more of the side where you can see kind of the quantity or the way it's seamed on the end of it. And so they just go pretty quick. And these were Auric Housekeeper, and they had a little filter also in the set, and it was new. So that again sold quickly. I listed September 7th, and it sold September 11th. So get your death pile listed, because you never know. It's, you think, oh, that took a long time to sell. But when you think about it, did it take a long time from when you bought it or a long time from when you listed it? So it could be one and the same if you buy and list quickly. But I have a lot of stuff that's not listed, but I try to prioritize when I do have time to take photographs and do comps and list, either a mixture of things to have variety on my store. Then I'm also considering how the value, so I'll do some of the low value and make sure I get some of the higher value items in there. So I don't just purely cherry pick all of the best items, and then you end up with this huge death pile of mediocre bread and butter kind of things that might sit a while. But you know, a vacuum bag is like 1/4 of an inch thick, sits in a drawer with a bunch of other ones, and you know, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. But so that's kind of how I do that. And the last item, stay with me, stay to the end, but the last item, this is cool, don't pass these up. Do not pass up an aluminum cake pan. I don't care if it looks well cooked in, as long as you think you can clean it up. And aluminum does show every little mark. When you scour an aluminum pan, it shows every mark. So whatever technique you used for scrubbing, continue that pattern through the whole dish, through the whole pan. So like on the bottom, I did kind of small circular motions, and I did those small circular motions all the way across in rows. So it had a nice pattern to the scrubbing on the bottom. It looked very uniform and not just kind of scratched this way or that way. And then I cleaned the inside. It was a little bit twisted, and so it took a little effort to kind of get it twisted more flat, but I described how it lay. So this cake pan and keywords really helps it sell. I listed this on September 8th and it sold September 9th. And so it was a Monroe aluminum baking cake lasagna pan, because you can use it for lasagna or cake or bake whatever you're into. And it's a 14 by 10 by 2, and it's USA and vintage. So, and I had the item number, so all of that fit in the title, and it sold quick. I got it at an estate sale for $1. I almost passed it up, but it sold. So it sold for $21.25, and I made $18.75. So there's 9 items that sold for $355, and I profited $186. And as you see, you know, half of them, or more than half of them, sold in less than 30 days. So that's success. And that's about it. So I appreciate you stopping by for a quick video on what sold, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.